On the surface, Lindsay Clancy life looked perfect. A loving husband, 3 beautiful children, and a fulfilling career as a labor and delivery nurse. But on January 24th, 2023, that perfect picture shattered in the most horrific way imaginable. Prosecutors now say she meticulously planned the murder of her own children. Her lawyers, however, argue that she was in the grips of a severe psychotic breakdown, a victim of a broken mind. So, which is it? Was Lindsay Clancy a cold blooded killer, or was she lost in an unimaginable nightmare? In this video, we'll examine the chilling evidence from both sides of this disturbing case. In the quiet town of Duxbury, Massachusetts, the Clancy family seemed to be living a great life. Lindsay and her husband Patrick were raising their 3 young children: 5-year-old Cara, 3-year-old Dawson, and baby Callan, who was just 8 months old. To friends and family, they were a loving home, but behind closed doors, a devastating struggle was taking hold. Lindsay, who had a history of anxiety, was on leave from her job, battling a deepening mental health crisis after the birth of her 3rd child. The evening of January 24th started with a simple errand. Lindsay's husband, Patrick, went out to pick up takeout and a prescription she had called in. He was gone less than an hour. When he returned, he walked into a scene of absolute horror. His 3 children had been strangled with exercise bands in the basement of their home. Cora and Dawson were pronounced dead at the hospital. Baby Callan fought for his life for 3 more days before he also died. Lindsay herself was found seriously injured in the backyard. She had jumped from a 2nd-story window in an attempt to take her life. According to her lawyer, has left her permanently paralyzed. The perfect family was destroyed, and a nightmare of legal and psychological questions were just beginning. Lindsay Clancy's defense team, led by attorney Kevin Reddington, argues she is not a murderer, but a victim of a catastrophic medical failure. They are pursuing an insanity defense, stating she was suffering from postpartum psychosis, a rare and severe condition that can cause a complete break from reality, including hallucinations and delusions. According to her lawyer, Lindsay had reported hearing a compelling and unrecognizable singular male voice, telling her to harm the children. Her defense claims her mind was ravaged not just by psychosis, but by a cocktail of prescribed medications. In the 4 months before the tragedy, she was prescribed a staggering list of drugs for anxiety, depression, and mood disorders. Her lawyer argues this over-medication turned her into a zombie, unable to function. This claim is so central that in late 2025 or early 2026, her husband, Patrick, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against her medical providers, alleging their negligence prescription practices directly led to the deaths of his children. The defense paints a clear picture of a system that failed a mother in crisis, but prosecutors see something far more sinister. Before we look at their evidence, if you're finding this analysis compelling, please take a moment to subscribe and share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. So y'all, if Lindsay was so unwell, why do prosecutors believe this was a meticulously planned event? The prosecution argues that her actions on that day show clear, rational thought and premeditation. They point to evidence that she used Apple Maps on her phone to calculate how long her husband's errand would take, allegedly to ensure she would have enough time alone with the children. They also argue her behavior earlier in the day seemed completely normal. She took her daughter Cara to a pediatrician appointment without any issues. She even texted her mother and husband photos of the children playing in the snow. To the prosecution, this is not the behavior of someone lost in psychotic episode, but of a calculating individual hiding her true intent. They argue that the deliberate timeline of her actions proves she was sane. Now, this brings us to the core of the case, a question that courts have grappled with for decades. Can someone who plans a killing still be legally insane? For the prosecution, the answer is a clear no. The planning proves insanity. For the defense, the answer is yes. The planning was simple and a part of the delusion itself. Today, Lindsay Clancy remains at Duxbury State Hospital, paralyzed and under constant observation as she awaits trial. After several delays, that trial is now scheduled for July 20th, of 2026, where a jury will be asked to decide her fate. Was this a calculated act of evil, or was it the tragic end of a mind that had completely broken from reality? The answer may lie not just in what she did, but in the truth the legal system itself may struggle to define. What do y'all believe? Let me know in the comments.